I can't go. That's like 5-dimensional. Yes. Okay, my brother has a question. Yes.
How did you feel about doing the verb checks? Like, were you stressed about it?
Oh, verb checks. Okay. Yeah, it was okay. I think the hardest part is like remembering to put an accent in places where you don't, or like putting an accent where there's not. So yes.
I heard that you use stand-up comedy in Spanish. Is that true?
Oh yeah, I did stand-up comedy in Spanish once. Yeah. I feel like that's the point where like once you can do stand-up comedy in another language, like that's it. You're fluent. That should be the benchmark exactly. Yes. I go to Harker. Yeah. So we started learning. I started learning Spanish in 7th grade in school. So it's only been like 3 or 4 years. But I think like someone else earlier tonight said that the most important thing is just speaking, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's so important to put yourself in those those places where you might be uncomfortable. Like it's okay if you have an accent, because if you keep practicing, like your accent will go away. You'll eventually become really comfortable. Yes.
I have another question because I actually don't know the answer to this, even though I've visited you guys a ton of times. But do your parents speak to each other in Hindi and you and your brother speak to each other in Spanish so that the other party can't
That's so funny. Yeah. So my parents totally use Hindi as a secret language, and the funniest part, that people do that, right? The funniest part is that it actually backfires. Because the thing is, like, I don't need someone telling me. You don't need to go through a formal instruction. If you're constantly hearing these words used in a similar context, you're gonna understand what that means. My parents use like a set, like a limited vocabulary when they're talking to each other, so I can pretty much understand anything they say to each other.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now you know the truth.
You're giving away your secret. You're not supposed to tell them.
Yeah, but my brother and I do use Spanish as a secret language. So the only thing is that like there's Google Translate, so my dad could literally just pull out his phone and then just see what we're saying. So technology, man. Yes.
Why are you so passionate about learning Spanish? And can you say something to us in Spanish? So maybe a little bit of your stand-up comedy, just a little bit, just to hear.
Okay, so she asked. Oh yeah, so she asked, what makes me so passionate about Spanish? That's a good question. I feel like what's really helped is having, so Natalie talked earlier about the au pair program. So my family's had a lot of au pairs in the past who've come from Colombia and Mexico. And so for example, Diana is over here. She's our current au pair. And so I feel like talking to them and being able to talk in Spanish is so important because I get to learn more about the culture. And once I heard something, which is really profound, where it's like, you talk to someone in a language that they understand and they'll just hear you. You talk to someone in their mother tongue, like their native language, and they'll understand you, like they'll listen to you. So I think there's so many Hispanic people living in California, and Spanish just feels like such a useful language to have here. And si puedo decir algo en español, yo tengo un hermano menor que está sentado aquí y él está empezando a aprender el español. No sé si me puede entender ahora. ¿Me puedes entender? Yeah, that's my Spanish. Just putting my little brother on the spot.
Do you dream in Spanish?
Do I dream? Oh my gosh, I actually have kept a dream log of times I've dreamt in Spanish. Has anyone here ever dreamt in a language that they're learning? Yeah, so when you start dreaming in a language you're learning, like that's an amazing sign because that shows it's really getting into your consciousness. So I would encourage you to keep a dream log of when you're dreaming in the other language and be really proud of that. Okay, so thank you everyone for